Why are young Brits leaving Britain? So here's a question nobody in Westminster seems to want to answer. Why are young British people leaving Britain? Because according to the latest figures and reports, we're seeing more and more young skilled Brits choosing to move abroad. And 3/4 of the British people that are emigrating are under 35. And before anyone jumps in the comments and says, I'm not saying that every single young person is packing the suitcase or packing the backpack and heading over to Australia. I'm not saying that at all. But this is a trend that we absolutely need to talk about, isn't it? The latest figures from the Office of National Statistics, can't say that word, estimate that in 2025 around 136,000 more British citizens left the UK than returned. And the reason that's being reported is the cost of living, housing, wages, job security and taxation. Now think about that for a minute. We're constantly having this national big debate, aren't we, and big argument about immigration. That's all everyone ever talks about. But how many people are coming into Britain? Yeah, and how many are leaving? How many can we accommodate? How many more can we accommodate on this little island? And how much pressure is being put onto the housing, the schools, the NHS, the public services? I always go on about it, but it's true, isn't it? But here's another question. I love my questions. What happens when young people who were born here and educated here decide that Britain isn't the place that they want to build their future in? Sad, isn't it? Because if you're in your 20s or early 30s and you're looking for a house, have you seen the prices? Have you seen how much rents are? Wages are low, aren't they? Taxes and the cost of just raising a family. Just think about that. And you might want to look across the water, mightn't you, and think, you know what? Hang on a little minute here. I could earn more somewhere else. The Financial Times has spoken to loads, to young skilled workers considering making that move, with to countries including Australia and Canada. And they're all proven very attractive because the higher wages and perceived better opportunities. And here's where it gets really interesting when you think about it. Britain spends years educating and training people, the likes of doctors, you've got your engineers, your trade people, your graduates, your professionals. And then some of them people decide to take the skills somewhere else. Australia, Canada. Now, I'm not saying people shouldn't want to move, of course they should. But shouldn't politicians be asking why Britain isn't attractive enough for some of our own young people to stay here? Shouldn't they be asking the question? Because this isn't just about immigration. It's about the kind of country that we're actually creating at the minute, isn't it? Can a young person get a decent job? Can they afford somewhere to live? Can they save for a house? Can they raise a family without being absolutely hammered by the cost of living? And can they actually believe that the future here is going to be better than their parents? Because if the answer is increasingly becoming no, we've got a problem, haven't we? We've got a big problem. And this isn't about right and left, and it's not about Labour or Reform or Conservatives or the pesky Greens. It's about whether Britain is still a country where young people look at the future and say, I'm going to stay here. Yeah, this is where I want to stay. So I'll ask you, I want to ask you the question. If you were 25 today, would you stay in Britain or would you leave? And if so, where would you leave to? And if you've already left, tell me why. Because I genuinely like to hear what you have to say about this. So don't forget to comment and don't forget to subscribe, I should say. And I'll see you all later. Ta.